Guys, Coach Kelly here, coming at you today. The most beautiful day here in Dallas, Texas. The most perfect day to hop on here and talk sugar and fat loss with you guys. If you are so freaking confused on how sugar affects fat loss, is it good? Is it bad? Can you eat sugar? Can you reach your goals? Do you have to completely remove it from your diet? That is what I am here to talk about to you guys today. And I couldn't be more excited because I got some pretty cool stuff to cover. So hopefully you guys are ready. As you come on, make sure you say hello. Hi, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. So glad you're here. Let's get going. Let's get going, sister, because it's Saturday. It's the weekend. I just finished my workout. It was bomb.com. Took a shower, obviously, washed my hair. You're welcome. But it's Saturday and I've got some fun things to plan. This weather is just beautiful. So let's get going. So sugar has been scaring the bejesus out of us forever, for decades now. And it's been linked to a lot of different diseases, a lot of different health problems, a lot of really scary stuff that nobody wants to have to deal with, right? Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity, obviously, hello, that's what we're here to talk about, sugar and fat loss, okay? In the last, I'd say 40 years or so, obesity has risen, so has sugar alongside of sugar consumption, right, in the American diet. But I would really say more recently, like in the last 10 years, sugar consumption has really kind of started to die out, if not level off, but yet obesity rates continue to rise. So y'all think about that, okay? First, it's fat is bad for you, fat causes fat. Then it's sugar is bad for you, sugar causes fat. Then it's all processed foods. Then it was carbs. Then it's gluten, dairy. And now all of a sudden it's grains. Like, it's just this cycle that we are constantly just demonizing everything we can think of, right? And we pick one thing and then we move on to something else. And if all of these things were true, like, we can't eat anything. We have to remove every single thing from our diet. What are you going to eat? You're just going to starve to death. So just be careful what you guys believe, right? Be careful what bandwagons you guys jump onto, okay? Yeah, there's lots of research out there, but how is that research getting done? I mean, we're just basically injecting rats, right? I'm not a rat. You're not a rat. We're not rats, you guys. And injecting rats with insane, extreme, high levels of sugar, yeah, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a problem for that poor little rat. And that's how we get our research on anything. We just inject some poor animals, right? And then we say, oh, look at that. Clearly, that's bad for us, right? But no matter what we consume, whether it's sugar, dairy, grains, carbs, fat, protein, y'all, even water kills people. No matter what we're consuming, if we consume it in extremes, it's gonna cause a problem, all right? It can be toxic. It can cause weight gain. You can gain weight from overeating chicken breast and asparagus. You can, okay? But we can also be healthy while consuming these things, right? We can consume them responsibly and in appropriate amounts, and we can be healthy consuming sugar, okay? And you can stay lean and you can lose weight while consuming sugar. It all comes down to having the appropriate calorie intake, the appropriate macro split, and balancing these things, right? And making sure you're healthy. Like keeping an eye on health markers, getting tests done, right? Caring about your health and your body, staying active, staying hydrated, getting your sleep, stress management, okay? How do we lose weight, lose body fat? We consume an amount of calories that's going to trigger that reaction in our body. And that's it, okay? And so this conversation I'm having with you now regarding about sugar is how it affects our fat loss, okay? Health is not fat loss. Fat loss is not necessarily health, okay? The leanest I ever was, I was also the most unhealthy, okay? And I guarantee you, anybody else out there that's gone through fat loss, that's, I don't know, maybe a bodybuilder, a professional bikini competitor, whatever, and their goal is fat loss, they will say the same things, I promise you. So fat loss is not always health. Health is not always fat loss, okay? They're two completely different things. But I'm talking to you now about fat loss, weight loss. That's why you're here. That's why you listen to me. That's why you follow me. That's your goal, okay? So there are actually two different, I guess, kind of studies that I want to throw at you that are just very, very interesting when it comes to this topic, okay? The first one is the Sirwitt study. Very, very well-known study in this realm of research. It took 20 overweight women, and it was a 6-week study, basically, okay? And they all reduced their calories down to about 1,100 calories per day, okay? The amount of protein was eaten the same amount by all of these participants, okay? Now, the only difference was one group consumed 43% of their diet in sugar, sucrose, versus the other group, only 4%. 43% versus 4%, okay? It's a huge difference. What happened in 6 weeks? Nothing. No difference in weight loss between these two groups. Hello? Now, this study is a very, very well-known study because of how well done it was executed. Like, this is a very, very reputable study, a very, very controlled study, and that's important. Also, the second one I wanted to talk to you about was Dr. Mark Hobb. If you haven't heard of him, definitely do a quick little Google search. He's been on a few well-known podcasts. Layne Norton's had him on to talk to him. Dr. Mark Hobb, he was a professor of human nutrition at Kansas State University, okay? And he did what he calls, or I don't know if he actually termed this for himself, but we now call it the Twinkie diet. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. So for 10 weeks, he put himself in a calorie deficit, okay? But eating nothing but junk. Tons of Twinkies, lots of sugar, these junk foods, right? He consumed about 1,800 calories a day for a male. That's not much. So definitely a calorie deficit for sure. But he allowed himself to eat all of the junk, all of the sugar, and that's primarily what he ate. His whole diet was made up of Twinkies. I kid you not. So what happened? He lost 27 pounds in 10 weeks. He lost 27 pounds, and guess what? His blood work actually improved over those 10 weeks. That's the kicker, right? So my point being is you can absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, shed body fat, okay? We've got to prioritize that protein across the board, no matter what, non-negotiable. But as long as you are, in a calorie deficit, right? And your calories, your total energy consumption is controlled. That's what matters, okay? Now, 1,800 calories a day for a guy of nothing but Twinkies and sugar, that's not going to be very filling. He was probably starving because those foods, those specific foods we think of as bad foods or junk foods, they're very highly calorie dense, calorically dense foods, okay? So a little bit is going to take up that 1,800 calories in his day very quickly, right? So it probably wasn't very fun. It's probably hungry, okay? That stuff is not very filling, leaves you very unsatiated and wanting more, okay? So you won't be very happy long term. So this isn't really something that I recommend doing for yourself, but it's just proof that it's not the sugar that's holding you back, okay? And we don't have to go off the deep end and remove every ounce of sugar from our diet. Sugar in moderation is okay, you guys. Sugar in moderation, as all things in moderation, are perfectly fine, okay? They also don't contain very much fiber, obviously no protein, no density, which makes them very, very unfulfilling and very easy to consume because you consume a bunch of them and then you need more to fill up, right? And that's where the problem happens is we start to overconsume and we need more and more because we're just not satisfied. That's where the weight gain happens. Eating too many total calories, okay? So the overconsumption of calories, that's where we gain weight, that's where we gain body fat, and that's where we raise the risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, okay? What else? Let's talk about how much is it? We'll get into health a little bit here, okay? Let's talk about how much is a healthy amount of sugar to be consuming. So you can actually track your sugar in MyFitnessPal as long as you're logging all of your food. Sugar is a little column there that you can just check in on. How much sugar am I consuming, right? So this just depends on the person. One person might be totally fine at this amount. Another person might be totally fine and fit as a fiddle, have the best test results, blood work done at the doctor, and be super healthy, at a higher amount. Everybody's different, okay? 25 grams of sugar is about 3 servings of food, or 3 servings of whole fruit, not just food. 3 servings of whole food is about, why do I keep saying that? 3 servings of whole fruit is about 25 grams of sugar, okay? And 3 servings of fruit a day, that's pretty easy to get. That's delicious. I love fruit. Everybody loves fruit. It's wonderful. It's healthy. It's good for you, okay? So just keep that in mind. I would say the standard American diet, which is not healthy, right, is going to be 100 grams, over 100 grams of sugar per day. So if you can get something in between that 2,500, you're doing okay, and just, see how you feel, right? See how that affects you. And then if you need to make adjustments from there, you certainly can. 50, 60, but I would say definitely below that 100 grams per day. Anything above that is excessive, unnecessary. I definitely watch out for that, okay? And this includes high fructose corn syrup, this includes table sugar, this includes fruit, this includes natural sugars, honeys, everything. It's all the same, okay? Sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar, no matter the source. Yes, a long-term overload of sugar in any form from any source can cause excess inflammation, some insulin resistance problems. Yes, this is true. And that's why we need it in moderation. We need to keep tabs on it. We don't need to be going overboard and consuming excessive amounts. But again, everything in moderation is fine. Okay? Sugar is a carb. All right? But there are different types of this. Okay? Fructose is different than glucose, and glucose does not have the same potential inflammatory or insulin effects. Okay? So glucose are going to be your starchy carbs like potatoes, breads, pastas, rices, oats. When we think about carbs, like carbs, okay? That's going to have a little bit of a different effect on your body, okay? So just in general, eating a balanced diet, protein, fats, starchy carbs, right? High fiber carbs, all of the food groups, vegetables, everything. That's what's going to be the most beneficial for your health, okay? All sugars are processed in our body the same way. In the end, sugar is either used as energy or it gets converted to fat. So when does that happen? Where is that line that gets crossed? And that line is your total daily energy that you're consuming, the amount of calories that you're eating, okay? If you're overeating your calories, if you're in a surplus, it's going to get stored as fat. If you're in a deficit or you're controlling your calories and you're watching what you're eating and how much, it's going to get used as energy, okay? So again, it's not the sugar, it's the overconsumption of the calories, all right? In the end, our food is used as energy. So is sugar. But you just got to keep control of your calories, all right? That's all that matters. Just remember that. That's all that matters. And that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully that shed a little bit of light. Hopefully that calmed your nerves a little bit. Y'all, sugar is completely fine in moderation, okay? Just make sure that you're eating a well-rounded diet, getting lots of fiber, getting lots of protein, and keeping your calories in check. As long as you're doing that, enjoy yourself, okay? I live by the 80-20 rule. Nothing is off limits. If I want to have something, I have it. If it contains sugar, then I'm okay with that because I'm not over here sitting and eating nothing but sugar in my diet all day, every day, for every meal, every snack. That's not me. That's not my life. And that's not what this is about. This is about just allowing yourself to have something and not worry about it. Enjoying your food. Just last night, Mike and I walked down the street to an ice cream shop, a little candy ice cream shop. And we bought some candy and had some ice cream. And we didn't worry about it. Do we do that every single night? No. Okay, everything is fine in moderation. And it's not going to affect my results and my goals. Why? Because I accounted for those calories and my calories were still controlled. Got it? All right, if you guys have any other lingering questions regarding sugar and fat loss, be sure to drop them down below. Hey, babe. Thanks for popping on. Shoot me a DM if you need anything else. You know where to find me. Have an amazing day. Bye, you guys.